list. Not only is she the world's top-selling female recording artist, she's also a new wife and a mother-to-be. In addition, she recently made her acting debut in the movie The Bodyguard, starring opposite Kevin Costner. But initially, Whitney admits she was apprehensive about taking the role.
I guess Kevin got tired of waiting for me, so he called me. He said, "What's wrong with you? I want you to do this film, you know." When? Right, you know, I've been waiting for you for 2 years to do this movie. I mean, you read the script, do you like it, do you want to do it? I said, yeah, I want to do it, but I'm just, he said, what's the matter with you? I said, well, I don't know, I'm kind of afraid to do it, you know, I'm like, you know, kind of apprehensive. He said, well, Whitney, you know, don't worry about that, because I'll be there with you, you know, whatever, you know, I think you're perfect for it. I don't think you're going to find it as difficult as you may think you are, you know. He made me feel so comfortable about it.
And you're ready to die for me?
It's the job.
And you do it?
Was it as difficult as you thought it would be?
Yeah, it was. It was. You know, well, I'm coming from music, you know.
Yeah.
And my world of music it's a little different from the movie world, you know. Music has a rhythm, you know. It has a rhythm that you flow to, you know. And I guess it's more natural to me, you know, as opposed to doing a film and the stops and the goes and the hurry up and wait and the hours on end of doing this one scene forever.
Someone was in my house?
Okay, let's not get hysterical, Bill.
Wait a minute, someone was in my house?
Your character in this movie is a superstar who receives death threats. Can you relate to that at all, on a personal level?
I mean, I've had it happen, where I've been threatened, but not when I've been stalked. You know, Rachel's being stalked. Somebody's trying to kill her. They get into her house, man, and they do things in her house, you know, that's
weird stuff.
Real stuff, you know. and these little notes and letters they leave her, you know, it's like, you know, that's pretty scary.
Any scary close calls that you can remember?
I remember I was performing in South Carolina, and bless his heart, a young man jumped on the stage, you know, and got a little excited. But he leaped over all of these bodyguards in front. It was like he was, and it's funny because I could see him through the whole show. And something said to me, this guy looks like he's preparing himself to do something. You know, for some reason, when you're on stage, you're always like, you know, somebody's gonna jump on the stage any minute, probably, you know, maybe tonight's the night, you know. So I'm always looking for, like, shadows, you know, on the sides of me, you know. Well, this particular night wasn't a shadow. He was really there. And he grabbed me, and he held me, and he just said, I just love you so much. And he went through that thing, and he wouldn't let me go. He had my jacket, and my bodyguard jumped on stage, and they grabbed him, and then they had my coat, and I was going like this, and we were pulling this way, that way, you know. My mic flew, and it broke, and, you know, it was really kind of intense.
Do you think he's out?
Bodyguard arrives in theaters across North America on Friday. CNN senior entertainment correspondent Jim Moret spoke with Kevin Costner about his starring role in the picture.
I picked none of my movies for their message. You know, a lot of the movies, people find the messages, you know, in them. I picked them because I find them to be entertaining.
Kevin Costner has built a career by bucking tradition. Last year, he played Maverick District Attorney Jim Garrison in the controversial JFK. In 1990, he won the Oscar for Best Director with Dances with Wolves, silencing critics who'd called the film a huge risk.
Oh, you don't look like a bodyguard.
What'd you expect?
Well, I don't know. Maybe a tough guy?
This is my disguise.
In The Bodyguard, in which he both stars and co-produces, Costner takes another risk, casting singer Whitney Houston in her first acting role.
I think, you know, it's the lead actor's job to support people that come in, you know, whether the person's coming in for the first time for one day, a very small scene, or in the case of Whitney. But there was a, you know, I made a promise to Whitney that if she was in this movie, that she would be proud of it.
I remember the first day of shooting, I was so nervous. I was so nervous, you know, and I have to tell you, because Kevin was the best. He was the best. He coached me.
If someone's willing to swap his life for a kill, nothing can stop them, Rachel.
Great. What do I need you for?
You might get me instead.
And you're ready to die for me?
It's the job.
In The Bodyguard, Costner plays Frank Farmer, a former Secret Service agent turned security expert for hire. His job, to protect Whitney Houston, who plays a pop superstar stalked by a killer.
Do you think he's out there? He's here, isn't he?
He might be.
We don't know that. Frank, we don't know that.
But you know he was in my house, Si.
Can you, as a performer, relate to the problem that Whitney Houston was going through in the movie?
Clearly. I mean, I walk that walk. You know, I live the life, not of a rock star, so I don't travel with an entourage. But no, I understand when your life becomes more interesting to somebody than even their own life, and they obsess on you. I've never conducted my career, you know, in anticipation of an audience. I love movies. I go to movies every week myself. You know, so I hate booing at them when they're bad, and I want to make good movies. And so I pick carefully. As it turns out, a lot of the movies that I want to make are, you know, like this one wasn't made for 17 years. Dances nobody wanted to make. Field of Dreams nobody wanted to make. Bull Durham. Half the movies I want to make, no one really wants to. So I've gotten way over.
Part of you know, music, like I got that. You know, I know the rhythms. I know where to stop. I know where to go. I know when to go high. I know when to go low. You know, this acting thing, you got to watch. You got to look at those who are in it, you know, and maybe because that's all I had. I mean, I didn't have an acting coach. I didn't go to classes or anything. And then although I asked to do that, they said, no, we don't want you to do that. We want you to be as you are.
Houston's debut is opposite Kevin Costner, who plays her bodyguard and her lover.
I can't go out on a date because you have to be with me every minute. I mean, what if he wants to invite me up to his place afterwards? Are you going to come too? So, the only thing I can figure is for you to take me out.
I think that'll be the first, you know, question. Can she act? Well, you'll have to decide for yourself.
She had an awesome responsibility of carrying a large motion picture, you know. You know, and before this movie came out, she was being dissed, you know, that, you know, she couldn't do it. Well, she can do it.
But you get known for being a certain way, a way people think you are. And pretty soon, you can't like that. Guess you can't help it.
When did you know during the shooting, or did it come to you, and when you finally woke up and you walked onto the set and you said, you know what, I can do this?
I don't know at which point, but there was a moment when I did do that. I said, you know, forget about all the, you know, the tension, you know, or leave that all behind.
Use
when
a large dose of right guard.
Woke up one day,